Okay, we're good.
All right, now what were you going to say? You can give me a testimony because now we're recording.
Okay, absolutely. So basically what was crazy was that, I was trying to still process what you taught me the week before. And I kept, my go-to thing was every time I'd go up to one of the speakers, I would choke. And I'm like, damn, if Forbes was here, she'd probably be like, stop doing that. Stop doing that. And I don't know why my go-to line would be like, can I get a picture with you? Instead of telling them what I was really feeling about them, or instead of being so shy about it. And then when I went up to mathematics, it was like, it just like came right out. It was like you were there, and I think you would have had a really proud moment, because I was able to go up to him. At the end of his speech, he started speaking about how he's going to be serving military families. And to me, that really hit home, because, I am a military spouse. There is a lot going on around everything that happens with military families. So I was really touched by that. So I was able to go up to him, and it just like I didn't even remember what I said to him, but it just all came out to a point where this man said to me, thank you for your service. And then he took his phone out and he took a picture of my badge. And he's like, I'm going to be connecting with you. Because I basically just told him I'm a military spouse. I'm working on a course for other military spouses. I want to be able to encourage them and stop thinking that we all have to fall into the high percentage of unemployed spouses. This is why our country does have a lot of, divorce rates within the military. If a regular couple has a 51% chance of making it, military families have a less chance. I want to create a course that is going to help them, is going to make them, motivate them to just be able to not only think that they are meant to be unemployed. I was unemployed. I used to have a really great career until I moved here. And so when I said all of that to him, but I was able to like narrow it down to the point, and he just took a picture of my badge and he's like, I'll connect with you. And I was like, damn, that was like so exciting to me. And then I posted.
So now can you imagine, rather than taking a badge, you say to him, get your phone out, open up my Sandra 360 and put my contact right in your phone. Both
exactly. I didn't have that ready. Like
I know. That is the moment. That's one of the things that I want to start teaching. I'm doing 2 big events coming up, between 600 people and 1,000 people I'm speaking in front of. I just did a small event and we closed 62 people into this. So I'm thinking, wow, you do 10x that and we could actually blow this up.
Hell yeah, absolutely.
Yep. And it's a product night, not unlike what Russell does. Here's a product. Here's a way to connect with people. So the cool thing about that one is that I've got an into that and I want to grow that up. So absolutely. Congratulations on what you've built. I'm very excited. Is Dolly listening to this, or are you just in her studio?
She's here with me. Yeah, she's listening.
Hello, Dolly.
Hello.
All right, Dolly, are you scheduled for your phone call?
I believe so.
Okay. So Sandra, one of the things we're going to do, and I'm not, some of this is personal, but we're, is that we're looking at.
I'm going to leave the room right now.
No, that's okay.
She just left. Thanks, Dolly. All right.
Well, because one of the things we talked to Jen about is what you do professionally. So stepping out of the Forbes factor mode for a second,
right,
and going, okay, what is it that you do? What do you do for her? What do you want to do for us? And perhaps that we take and we trade some of this out so that we can make it worthwhile for everybody. Does that seem fair?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I had already, like, while we were at your program, I had already had a bunch of thoughts that I really feel like would help us reduce time. A lot of it will automate, even in Forbes Factor. So the concept of giving out people forms to fill out to, then process credit cards later, I want to be able to automate that. I feel like you already know when people are walking in, they have a phone. They have a phone in their hands. So we could really create sequences where when it's time for you to roll out, let's say you're offering the book marketing package. Instead of giving them a form to fill out, what you're doing is we're sending an email straight to their phone and saying, hey, this is the order form. And what we could do is we would be able to track who's filling out the form and who abandoned the form. So at that point, it's not like Chuck has to figure out, who handed in the documents or who didn't, because I think that takes up a little bit more time. If you need iPads, I mean, I'm happy to come down to your next Forbes Factor and help you with this new, like, if we were to roll this out, I can be there and help everybody, just get it going faster. And that way you're actually walking out on that night with people already paid, and no one has to sit there and process forms or, none of that. We are guaranteed that we have correct credit card numbers and they have already been processed.
Well, actually, so while that's important at a small event, it's actually way more important at my bigger events.
Absolutely.
So,
And
do me a favor, before we get down to all the things that you can do,
okay.
Let's start with, what is it that Sandra does? What do you do?
Well, I basically, honestly, I try to find a simple way of doing whatever manual process.
That's not what I meant. Tell me about you. Tell me about, hey, you know what, Forbes, I need to know your skill set and where you come from, because I don't know anything about you.
Okay, absolutely. I'm happy to tell you. So prior to doing what I currently do, I used to work for Caesars Entertainment. At Caesars, I used to process payroll for 10,000 people a week. I used to have 6 properties on the Las Vegas Strip. I used to process everybody's payroll. I have a finance background. I have a finance degree. I used to do pension plans for Aon Hewitt. I created a cash balance plan when I was there. So, I mean, I'm pretty good when it comes down to creating something new and pretty much finding a process where it's becoming effective, and it's a process improvement. Instead of having to do things manually, I used to more or less create process flows that would require doing SOPs, that would require doing testing. I would help with mergers. If Aon Hewitt was buying a new company and they needed to merge two payroll departments from one company to another, I was the one that they would come to and say, hey, we need to merge these two people. What does it take to take all the employees from one plan to another, and how do we do that? And so I used to execute those type of things.
Children?
How
many?
I'm sorry, you had a question?
How many children and how old?
My children?
Yeah.
I have 5 children. My daughter, the oldest one, is 18. My second, after that, 14, 10. My husband's daughter is 8, and we have a little boy that's 3. So I had 3 kids prior to meeting my husband. My husband had an 8-year-old daughter prior to meeting me, and we have a little boy together.
It's a full house. Who watches them when you leave?
Well, my little boy, my 18-year-old works with me as well. So when I moved to Florida, I ended up just not being able to get a job that was going to pay me what I wanted, pay me what, with the experience that I had and what I used to make. All the jobs that they kept offering me here in this area was, hey, I could give you a payroll director job for $16 an hour. So I was like, no, screw that. I'm not going to take a step back. And so I ended up just looking online, figuring out, okay, I don't want to do, direct sales, but I knew I had all this experience that I can help other people. So I was like, maybe I'll do payroll from home. And then I realized that's not really what I love doing. I like to do more of implementation and process improvements. So that's when I came across how to do sales funnels and how to do systems and automations. And that's where I started realizing, okay, I could take the experience that I used to have in these other companies and just apply it from home, but do it for small business owners and find a way to help them get time back in their day by creating some of these process improvements.
What do you do for Jenna?
For Jenna, I create pretty much funnels. I'll create funnels. I do more or less sequences. So if she's trying to come up with a new sequence for something, she'll give me all the content. I'll put it all in she uses ActiveCampaign. So we'll create an automation for it so that it's triggered off at a certain time, at a certain point. I do some landing pages for her. I do opt-in pages, all kinds of different things. That depends on what she's looking for. For the most part, I'm usually doing all her back-end stuff.
Okay, so what I have and what I need is I have 2 companies. Okay. One company is SpinGym, and we have no back-end sequencing at all. It lives in my head. I know what I would dream about. I'd love to talk to you about it, but I have 0 implementation, and my entire motto for 2019 is automation.
Okay.
So what I have not had is someone as smart as you, who understands it. You can't have someone who just builds a funnel. I'm a funnel builder. No, you need to be a marketer. You need to understand business. You have to, you can't be 20. This is why agency owners make me nuts. I'm 22. I've got an agency. Fuck you. You know what? You have no idea what you're doing.
Right.
So, so what I would love to do is, so Spin Gym I would love to lay it out for you. And then you tell me, even people buy things and there's no sequence. Okay. I've got enrollees into programs every day and they goes nowhere. So it's killing me, absolutely killing me.
Yes.
And that's one that actually immediately would turn around that business. And then we can get down to, and that's why I wanted to stop you, because I understand the minutia of what we don't do. But Forbes Factor also has few funnels, or it's 0 funnels, has a few little systems, but between Chuck and I, that's not what we do.
Right.
So we would love to do a revamp and literally I'd love to have a conversation about starting from 0 and going, hey, let's start from 0. I have a product called Spin Gym. Somebody buys it and literally go down how to automate that, how to put it in active campaign, how to really just blow it up.
Okay. So currently right now, when someone buys a Spin Gym, what happens immediately after they buy it? Do they get a welcome email or a thank you email or anything?
Nothing.
And so how do you know that you need to send out a Spin Gym to them? Like, how does that process
Shopify.
happen?
We get an order, a payment from Shopify.
Okay. So, first off, we would have to really, because the thank you email, or, the confirmation email is important. It gives the person the sense that, okay, I bought something, I'm actually going to get it. And then somehow getting a track man, like so they know when they're going to get their Spin Gym sent to them. So that's the first automation that I would say that's a definite important one. Even the same goes for when people buy a Forbes Factor ticket.
No, I know. Don't even, you know what, here's what you don't have to do, beautiful girl, is you don't have to tell me why. I understand all of that. We're going to speed this process up because we're going to have this conversation. Somebody gets a Spin Gym. What they need, what they don't get is a thank you. Then they get a beautiful video of going, hey, you know what? I'm going to send you the next couple of really fun videos. Oh, great. I also have a course called 5-Minute Fitness Fix. It's on sale right now. Boom. I can go down I can give you all the elements that we're not using.
Okay. So yeah, I would definitely recommend as soon as they purchase the Spin Gym to send them the thank you. And then obviously a video of you with whatever you want to offer them after that, and send them through a sequence for the next product. Whether that's
I got all that. We've never built any kind of sequencing. And so my question now to you is to sit down maybe I'll be on a whiteboard on the Zoom and go, look, here's all the things that I have. I have courses, I have upsells, I have downsells, I have things, I have videos, I have all kind of things where I would love to bring them into a Spin Gym brand ambassador program, into the certification, into this, into that. I've built a bunch of things that are all sitting there waiting to be tied together and offered to people, and there's 0 sequencing.
Okay. So
because we don't have active campaign. We do now, but I've never used it, and I can vision it. And so I would like to create just a workflow. How would we work together to build that particular world?
Definitely, if you already have active campaign and you already have your shopping cart, whether it's Thrive Cart, Sam's Cart, or whatever, Moon Clerk, whichever one you're using, it's just a matter of connecting things, making sure that every single, from the start, from the first landing page, everything works on there, to the thank you page, to then actually getting the order form and having that funnel down to whatever new sequence you want them in. And then obviously doing the metrics behind it. Are people opening the emails and so forth? And do you want these people that don't open the email to go through a different funnel or to a different sequence to warm them up to something else? So
how do I work with you? Do we meet every day? Do we meet for a couple of, what is the best way to start with you?
If you want to get started right away, all I really need is, do you guys have the content to start off with the emails, or is that something you're looking to also get?
Oh, I have to create the email. I have, Sandra, when I say I have nothing,
okay. So
I have all this in my head.
Okay. So how about I get a list of all the products that you guys have, and then I can map it out how I can create the funnel that's actually going to, take you to where you need to go at the end. So the end goal, what I would really want to know is kind of like you always say, what's the end goal in mind? Is the end goal in mind that you want them to buy a Forbes Factor ticket, or is that a coaching, or like what is the end goal for the sequence?
Okay, so that is actually work with us. So I would actually sit down and say, look, so Spin Gym is its own company. It's got nothing to do with Forbes Factor. Okay. You haven't seen videos, and I would introduce you into this world a little bit. Show you what we're selling on Shopify at the moment. Show you the Kajabi course. In fact, go to, you know what? Can you go to my Kajabi? Again, my password's all fell off. So I would give you access to my Kajabi. I built about 5 or 6 different Kajabis. And one of them is a resource now where all my Spin Gym videos or whatever course is, because you buy it. Here's one sequence. I buy a Spin Gym. I see Forbes wherever, not on HSN, but I buy it from her Shopify, right? I get that, and I, need to understand how to use it. So thank you. Hey, you know what, guys? Just want to make sure you understand it. I've got videos for that. Watch this. Hey, I want you to be inspired, and there's a nurture sequence that goes into, hey, watch Pedro who's got no arms. Watch this girl in a wheelchair, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
With the idea that I want you to understand it and love it. Next, if you really love it, you might want to come to a 2-day a brand ambassador training class where you can, in your hometown, be able to teach class or sell Spin Gyms here, how that works, and drop you into the certification class or the brand ambassador class. If you want to take it one step further, you want to become certified, here's the sequencing for that. So it's basically loving on people, getting them to understand the world of Spin Gym, showing them different products that they can buy, and it's all about fitness. Hey, if you love this and you want to lose weight, then I've got an Eat Journal weight loss program. So I would just walk you through step by step the assets that I've got. I need to organize the assets so that you have access to them way better than they are. Right now, they're kind of everywhere. You know, there's some in Dropbox. There's nothing that you could sit down as a professional and go, all right, I'm going to build this because everything is here. Right. Now, we also have about 4 or 5 funnels that I would love you to audit and look at. You don't need to build things from scratch. There's some things already built that you go, wow, this is great. But Forbes, your 16-year-old built it, and it really needs to be tweaked. Right. So that's what I would give you. And that's one entire world that I would like to do first. Okay. So to do that, is it a per hour? Is it a per project, per week? How do you like to work?
I mean, I honestly usually do per funnel, but you know, I know that there is a lot here to work with. So if you wanted to, I could do a per week type of thing. We could do a per month. I usually offer per month packages. It sounds like this is going to be more involved than like a per funnel type of thing. It seems like you want me to audit a few funnels, create a few funnels, and, you know, get them functioning, and additionally get landing pages up and running that are going to be able to go all the way through with the funnels that we're creating. Thank you, pages, and all of that.
Yeah, it is ultimate. It's funnels is part of it. It is all email sequencing, if that's what you consider a funnel. You know, it's all creating active campaign from scratch. It is writing the emails with me, or you know, coaching me what we need so that once I can start to get a format. It's organizing all that. It's putting the assets where they need to be. Right. And so, yes, it is definitely a per month kind of project.
Okay. So what is the goal for the first one? Which one is the urgent one that needs priority right now?
It is that somebody buys a Spin Gym, or because you can buy a Spin Gym from I'm not selling a lot of Spin Gyms personally, but HSN sells a lot of Spin Gyms. And from that, I dump them into a thing called Fit with Forbes, which is it's not really a membership, but the idea is to dump them into a membership. When somebody registers for a Kajabi course, it doesn't matter, any one of the 3 things they register for. They bought a Spin Gym, they registered for the Spin Gym Kajabi course, and they bought the membership. The Spin Gym sequence needs to be the same. Hey, you got your Spin Gym. Let me make sure you know how to use it. Here's all the things it can do. And so it's literally opening up emails every day. We're going to offer you. And then from there, upsells and downsells. Because if you bought a Spin Gym, what do you want? You want to get fit. You want better arms. You want to lose weight. Summer's coming. Right, right.
So there's currently no tagging involved in any of the automations that you have, right?
We have 0 automations.
Okay. So yeah, that's definitely important, because if somebody's opening certain things, you don't really want to continue sending them the same thing if they've already actually signed up for something, which essentially will just either get them to say, all right, well, I already got this. Why am I still getting emails? So we need to create, I mean, I could sit down and just map this all out, send you a proposal and show you, okay, with this particular one, this is what we can do. And this is how we can get it to function in the timeline on that.
Yeah, well, that's the whole idea. I mean, part of me is just jonesing to sit down with you. I hate the remote thing, but you know.
Okay, I mean, and if I need to come down to Tampa, I have no problem coming down to Tampa. You just tell me when is the best time for me to come down. How fast do you want this rolled out, and I'll make it happen. What are you
doing yesterday?
What was I doing yesterday? I was in Nashville.
That's what I meant. Yeah, because this to me is probably my priority. I can show you my acuity schedule so you can see where I'm going to be. I'm actually, what are you doing this week, actually? What's your focus?
Well, this week, it's crazy because all these new people are on my calendar, but it's just really calls. I don't really have a big, any launches or anything going on this week. I was just really going to sit down and start hacking out all these new things that I learned. But if I need to just roll out and go to Tampa and come do this with you, I'm down for it.
Well, I am here until the 8th, and then I will leave for an entire week. And this is a massive priority for me.
Okay.
Where do you live?
I live in the Destin area. So
okay. Did you drive down last time, or did you fly?
I would probably drive again, just because I need a car.
All right. Well, I would actually put you up in my house. I have a spare. We call it Chuck's bedroom. Chuck won't be here.
Awesome.
And so for me, this would be a deep dive. This is where I make. That's not fair. I was going to say I make money. One of my goals here is to sell Spin Gym at some point. Spin Gym, and then when I share, because I've not really talked about any of this with you or the class, but I own a company that is worth millions, but it doesn't generate anything anymore because of my ex-husband last year, and I kind of just said I'm not doing this. So I'm actually going to open up another company called Spin Gym Fitness, and the company that he and I own is just going to be the manufacturing supply company.
Okay.
And so it's a brand new company with a whole mission about getting this product out into offices, corporate wellness. I mean, people want it everywhere, and I'm not doing anything about it. So the first thing I've always talked about is if I could automate this, I would, I can bring in people to help me.
Right.
So literally from today until the 7th, I have nothing to do except this if you wanted to. So you can come down for a day, 2 days, 3, whatever you want, whatever we can arrange.
Okay. So let me look at, I mean, if you wanted me to come down this week, I can even come as early as, how about Thursday? Is Thursday good for you?
Yes,
okay.
It's great.
And so, and I can roll, because if I leave Thursday, then I can be there Thursday, Friday, and whatever to the end of the weekend, if that's what needs.
Yeah, the only thing I have to do is on Sunday, I'm shooting a movie. So Sunday is out for me.
So Thursday, Friday, and Saturday?
You could also be here Wednesday night if you wanted to.
Awesome.
And we could work all day Thursday. Do I have any look at my schedule as I say this? We now start to look at my acuity. I could learn a lot from you.
To do something like that, what's the time frame that normally it takes to fully automate something like that?
I mean, if I'm there, I could, as you guys are creating emails, I could just start plugging. Like, there's no need to delay it anymore. I could just start creating as we're there.
So that's just, I mean, honestly, I work 10-hour day. I mean, I literally, that's all I do. I eat, sleep, and breathe, what I do.
And I don't,
so between this and the studio.
Yeah, I don't have a problem working 10, 12-hour days either. As long as we get it done and the end goal is met, that's all I care about.
Yeah, the end goal is that this is mapped out and that Spin Gym, when somebody buys a Spin Gym from wherever, they're in a sequence and then they can start to buy things. Because that obviously, there's so many places for it to go, whether it wants to go into the diet. And like I said, what's helpful though last year is I built programs that I can dump them into programs right now where they can buy things. So there is a financial reward at the end of this, whether it's a certification or a diet program, or a 90-day challenge, and then ultimately it's been, Forbes Factor is way down the road for them. This is all about health and fitness. And because the bikini season is coming, summer's coming, everybody wants this. This could be and also with Jenna's help too, because Jenna's here. I would enroll her for the initial strategy session.
Right.
And that would be really helpful to have the 3 of us in a room.
Absolutely. Okay. I'm down. I'll be there Wednesday.
This week. All right.
Oh, yeah.
So that works.
So my question was,
Yeah.
and you may not even want to touch this right now, but I was asking about the time frame, because would we be even able to approach Forbes Factor before April started?
I mean, if we need to do another weekend, I can come, and I'm happy to come down and try to get that, because I know Force Factor, that's another one that we would have to tackle. If I have to come back again, I can.
Well,
Just
but
to
hang
make
on a
sure.
second. So here's the difference. So Spin Gym is all about assets, between the photos being in different places and I haven't shown you all that we want to do with this company. Forbes
Okay.
Factor, you actually have a pretty good handle on, because you just went through it.
Right.
And you could technically, if we do this right and we spend a couple of days together, we understand how we work with each other.
Right.
Mapping it out is, and between you, me, Jenna, and Chuck, we understand Forbes Factor. You understand a lot of the holes that we have,
Yes.
even from how. So let's stop Spin Gym for a second. Yeah, okay, Forbes Factor. So Forbes Factor starts with me getting on stage, like I'm going to be doing on March 8th in front of 600 people, or in whatever, speaking and enrolling people into what I do.
Okay.
So they need a sequence when I go to an event. We don't book a lot of people online, but we refer people all the time. I'm very popular on social media. So to go to ForbesFactorLive.com, you'll see it's a horrible looking funnel. How to at least educate people. And we close a few, and obviously we close people that we refer to that. That's like the last step. I don't think people buy it from an ad.
Right.
Not yet. So we need the funnel that says, hey, kind of like you did with Jenna, you should really sign up for this. Great, go to Forbes Factor Live. There's an amazing landing page, and then you go through the funnel. Then
Right.
once you've signed up and paid, the sequence becomes this, where Chuck has a lot of emails to give you or ideas to give you. It says, hey, great, you've signed up. There's X amount of days until Forbes Factor starts. We have an email that says, make sure you got all your, whatever you need together. Here's where the hotels are, blah, blah, blah. Then obviously we can do all kinds of things up until that, like any other event. You can give us some suggestion. Like, what did Russell send you prior to funnel hacking? How do you get excited? Is there something else you can buy while you're there? Can you get Forbes books? Can you watch her videos? Then a week out, and then the reminder, and blah, blah, blah. So the pre-event sequence, we can all do remotely, I think, because you've been through it.
Right.
And that's a day all together on Zoom, you, me, and Chuck, maybe Jeff.
Okay.
Then there's the while you're at events, how to process whatever it is I'm selling,
Right.
Yes.
how to get information, and every day I want you to go home with an email sequence. So there's the at event sequence. Hey, day number 1, write down your aha, make sure that you did X, Y, and Z, how you're feeling about this, blah, blah, blah. Day 2, even a morning, good morning. We want you to start your day this way. So I would love an at event sequence.
Yes.
And then a post event sequence.
So they come in ready to do
So they
something.
come in every morning ready. They're psyched. I've got all these. I have all these inspirational videos we can put into an email sequence already made. I probably have 8 amazing sequences. Well, that's great. Hey, turn off the news today, or whatever those are.
Right.
So there's a morning and an evening. There's a morning and an evening funnel. It's a 5-day event. Then there's a business mastery morning and evening funnel. There's a post event. Hey, you bought the book. That's a funnel. That's a pretty cool funnel. You bought the year-long coaching. That's a funnel. You didn't buy anything. That's a funnel.
Yes. And you will be, and by that morning, every single morning, you'll be able to know exactly who's already bought in, because we could run a report. So that way you could focus on the people that haven't bought, or reward the ones that have bought, or just.
Correct.
So yes, I follow.
So pretty much you can't work for anyone else for the next 3 months.
Okay.
And then if I could actually here's the thing. If we could make this work, when we make this work, the financial rewards on the back of this are pretty nice.
Yeah.
And so that's the goal.
Yeah. I'm just worried about getting it fixed, because I know that the potential of this is a lot greater than any money rewards or anything like that. It's just really, I had the whole week, I had a Spin Gym on me, and I was using it randomly. People would come up to me, what is that? And I would tell them, and whether I was pitching it right or wrong, I was referring people to the site, hoping that they were getting there and they were going to get what they needed. So I'm ready. Whatever you need.
And the problem is they don't. I mean, imagine that you send somebody to a landing page that you love and you feel very proud of. That, hey, you know what, you just saw this and here's what it does and here's why it's important. I haven't built any of that.
Okay. Well, we're going to build all of it.
And you know what's beautiful about this is that you've been through the process, so you get it.
Yes, absolutely. And
I got to tell you,
that's the thing.
I have a manager that I picked up from when I spoke at Grant Cardone's, they've never been on a single call of mine. They've not come down to a single Forbes factor. They've not made me a dime. I've not made them. I mean, it's really fucked up. I pay them a lot of money, and they wonder why it's not working. I'm like, come to a fucking Forbes factor and you'd understand. Oh, no, we don't need to. We know who you are. Can you imagine?
Yeah. No, and that's the thing that I do appreciate about this, that I have gone through it. So I have a really big sense of appreciation and just gratitude to the cause. So for me, it's a personal thing that I have to get done because I know the potential of it, and it just the world needs to hear about it. So if I could help get there and I can help you figure this shit out, I'm down for it. I'm down for the cause. So
do you know how cool this is? Just go back to Forbes Factor lessons. We were with a writer last night from the movie we're doing, and he's completely negative. Nothing works. This doesn't work. I said, you just have to manifest it. So all of 2018, towards about the second half of it, I kept saying, and I said it over and over again, and I tell people about manifestation. I kept saying, you get what you tolerate. It was 2018. I said, I got rid of my ex-husband. I found love. I said, but all I want for 2019 is automation. And I've said it 1,000 times. And guess what you do? And guess what you're experiencing? And I'm not kidding. It is the universe. You are so my answer to what I've asked for. You have no idea.
I appreciate that.
No,
yeah, well, no, Chuck knows.
I'm excited. I'm so excited.
Between you and Jenna, it's the conversation that we've been waiting to have with the right person.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I make this happen.
Yeah, I get pitched. Well, number one, I get pitched by men. I'm tired of men. And that's no, I really am. Men who've got big egos and big attitudes and think they know better, like this manager guy. It's like, you got to be kidding me. Or people who'll charge me I'm not. It's like, you don't understand. There's too much money at the back end of this when this works, and it's all working on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Just stop being annoying. I mean, well, Chuck knows.
Yeah. I'm excited.
I'm like a magnet.
I'm excited to get everything going.
I am too.
Because Spin Gym is a moneymaker, period.
Yes, that's what it does. It used to make $1 million a year. It used to make $1 million a year just doing 12 days at home shopping.
Yeah,
okay.
And I've gone to the sauna a few times. Every time I've gone, at least 2 or 3 people are like, "Hey, what is that?" And I'm like, "This is mine. You got to go to spingym.com to buy one."
Yeah, you'll leave with a whole trunk full of it. You keep it in the back of your car every chance you get. We were at the restaurant the other day. I sold 4 of them in seconds. Well, that pays for lunch. I haven't paid for a lunch since I started Spin Gym.
That's awesome.
But you see that now, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And it's actually, once I've actually dealt with the fact that I'm not selling them something, I'm just being passionate about doing something or using something. They see that and they're like, "Oh, what is that? Can you tell me more about it?"
It's kind of like the webinar where you don't sell anything. And I have to tell you, that's why I teach Pitch Mastery the way that I do.
Right.
Because I get it. I totally get it. And I have a great vision for people. And this little tool gets you out of your own way to at least confront your own fears about selling. But the truth is, like you did, if you walk around with it, you'll actually make cash all day long.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe that.
I know. And so I've got a big event coming up on the 8th where I've got about 600 people, all really hip. And one of the goals there is to also need to automate my 360. And it's not that I need to automate it. I just need to be clear on what to do once I get stuff. So I just got, for example, 60 leads from this event that I just did, all through my 360. I have their emails and their phone numbers, and I have no sequencing. I have nothing to put them into at all.
Okay. And then, and the other portion of it is we do have to be careful with when you're getting leads, are they GDPR compliant? Are we allowed to take those leads and put them into a warm sequence or whatever? So getting the proper GDPR is going to be really, really important, especially with Spin Gym, because that is a product
Spin Gym is one thing, but let's go back to what I just got. So these people took out their phone and want my free gift. I'm not even sending them a free gift yet. So the answer is yes, they are compliant. And I can also, so this is a different sequence. So I'm standing on stage, and this is what I'm going to do on the 8th. I stood on stage and I said, "Hey guys, everyone take out your phone. I've got a free gift for you." So number one, I have free gifts, but I have no sequencing.
Okay.
So this is also what has to happen on Thursday.
Okay.
In fact, this is probably a priority I could even get done before Thursday, because I've got a spreadsheet of 60 names right now.
Okay. So is Chuck able to send me access to Active Campaign? I can create a sequence for that and
Yeah.
just dump all these people into an email that's going to give them the free gift.
Yes. Yes, we
Okay.
can do that right now, because then from the free gift, so these guys were all network marketers. They're hungry. They loved me. I saw for an hour and a half. And 17 of them bought into 360. Well, here's what they bought. So I get on stage and I say, and I'm going to do this again. I only got a half hour to pitch this. Take out your phone, go to Forbes Riley 360, hit contacts, and in the contact place, text me, send me your full name and email, and I'm going to send you a free gift. So that's the first thing we get to do. Then later on, I said, here's the deal, guys. You might want to write this one down. Here's how 360 works. If you saw how cool that was and you can get into all of my social media, this platform is available to you as well. And see those 8 icons? Those 8 icons can be any icon that you want. And I'm going down a list of them. It could be your presentation. It could be a Yelp. It could be reviews. It's endless. It's amazing. It's only limited by your imagination how you want to connect with somebody. And we call this the $100,000 handshake. You meet somebody, boom, you can make money. No longer do you need to get their business card. You can put them into a sequence. And by the way, this is how I can perpetually get you clients, because I don't want these people. Got it?
Right.
They all need, and none of them come from the funnel world. All right, so the next thing is, the platform itself, here's the parameters. It's $500 setup fee for the platform. And there's 3 programs that you can get monthly. You can get the $29.99 a month, $79.99 a month, or $129.99 a month. And I showed the screen. Obviously, they all have different features. What if I told you, and each one is a year-long cost. What if I told you, I'm going to give you, those 3. And then Ray Perez, the #1 branding global expert, and I teach a 4-week how to brand yourself so that not only do you have this platform, but you know how best to really approach your customers. And we take you through a 4-week training. That's $1,500. Okay? So if I do the math on that, $500 setup fee, you can do a 30, an 80, or a 130 monthly, and there's a $1,500 4-week program, right? So here's my special offer for you, because I only have a few minutes and I really want to enroll you in this. #1, let's look at the programs. I'm going to just give you the $130 program for the $29.99 a month. Does that sound fair, guys? Yeah. And if you buy the whole year is only $2.99. That means $24 a month. It's less than a Starbucks and a muffin, okay? $2.99. Okay, so that sounds cool, right? Now, I'm going to totally, right now, today only, I'm going to totally erase the $500 setup fee. I'm going to make it free for you. Would that be okay? So now you've got a free setup fee, and it's $24 a month. Really? To get a $100,000 handshake platform? But you do need the training.
Right.
Oh, you know what? Let me go back. I'm sorry. Let me do this pitch again, because I'm working on this. Let me go back here. $500 a month setup fee, $130. So it's $1,500 a month for the training. You know what? How about I take the training? You're going to sign up for the training, $1,500. Sounds fair to be branded, right? I'm going to take and give you the $130 for $24 a month. That sounds pretty. That's an $1,800 savings right there. Then I'm going to eliminate your $500 setup fee. So right now I've saved you $2,400. That's kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
And training is training. It's going to be me and Ray live. I charge
Right.
$10,000 a day. But I take the $1,500 training. I'm going to make that $997 if you do this right now. So for $1,000, you're going to get the training. You're going to get all the top-notch monthly services for the lowest cost possible, and there's no setup fee. You just saved $2,400. Who's in?
Everybody.
Everybody. You get access to me live for a month for $1,000. Fuck, you should jump on that alone.
Hell yeah.
So that's what I'm going to pitch. So that's what I pitched.
That's awesome.
We've got 17 signups and 6. So those free gift people should all be upsold into this program.
Right.
And then on the 9th, I need to figure out how best to sell this to 600 people and how many people I need in the back of the room or what email sequencing. Here's what I need. For this to happen on the 8th, I need a better sequencing because I'm going to have salespeople in the back of the room, but I'm going to have a flood of 100 people running to the back of the room, and I don't know if they're going to be able to handle it.
Yeah, so I think that the best approach for that one would be for you to be able to send them a link where it's the order form right then and there. And at that point, they're filling out the order form on their phone with the credit card information and all of that. Now, if they fill that out and they abandon the cart, then we can send them into a different sequence. But for the ones that complete, then they get a welcome email or a thank you email or whatever. So it's happening automatic, and you're not depending on people in the back to fill that out. It's actually, they're doing it automatically on their phones. Everyone's going to have a phone. Everyone usually has a phone. So sending them that link to the order form, and they can do it right then and there.
Okay,
Sign up right
I'm
now.
going to do one step further. All right, so that's interesting. So, because it takes a while to fill all this out and get your credit card out, which takes away from my speech, which really fucks with me because I only have 30 minutes total. But so here's what's interesting about that. So now if the sequence went to, it's going to send you an email notification, but I only have 50 spots available. So listen to this. You got to take right now, the fastest one to fill this out on your phone, you got to take that number back to the back of the room, because it's going to generate a number, a code that you're going to give to my people in the back. I want you to run to the back of the room, but you're already signed up now.
Right.
But you got to take that to the back of the room to qualify to be one of the 50. Right now you're only signed, well, somehow to let them know that I need to create a buzz in the room.
Right. And we can, and we can create something where we know who are the first 50 people and generate a number.
No, that's a joke. I don't care if there's 200 people. I want them in the room to feel as 50.
Right. No, I understand.
So, sorry, what did you say?
No, I understand that you want the urgency. You want them to get up and go in the back and run in the back. So, but we can also track that on the order form so that they can actually, as soon as they get that they're one of the 50s, they get something like they can show us the screenshot. You know what? I see the screenshot you purchased right now. Send that, bring that to the back of them. That's what Russell did. That's one of the things he did. So he did that with t-shirts. He's like, if you guys upgrade your account right now, you're going to get a thank you email, or it's not a thank you email, it's a thank you page. And it's like, congratulations, go get your t-shirt in the back. That was kind of the same concept.
How many people ran to the back?
It was like over 400 or 500 people got a t-shirt. I mean, obviously it was 4,500 people in the room, but everyone that actually did what he said that they needed to do would go in the back. And that the only way to get the free t-shirt was showing the screenshot of your, the congratulations, go get your free t-shirt.
That's perfect. What did the t-shirt say?
The t-shirt say, die hard ClickFunnels, and in the back it's like, I bleed funnels or something like that. Hashtag I bleed funnels.
Nice.
Yeah. He had I mean, honestly, I know that it was like, I know a lot of people have gone to it before, but I kind of feel like he's stepped it up, because I did look through the notes of all the prior years, and it doesn't compare to what we actually experienced.
Oh, let me tell you something. I've watched Russell grow from each 10X. From the first one to the third one, how he's grown in his techniques. Trust me, having done 10X myself and lost about $80,000, but spent $80,000 in swag and all the things that I did, I learned a lot. So this is why my events are getting better and better as well. But even my selling from stage, like for example, this 360, I finally have something just like Russell to sell finally. The problem before is I used to sell Forbes Factor, and it's hard to sell a course. To enroll people into this. It's not hard. I do it very well, but it's not something I can do in 30 minutes. It's not something that is automated by a funnel. Here, get this program.
Right.
So,
I mean, I have all my notes. Like, honestly, I have all my notes from funnel hacking. And one of the biggest one that I don't think any of my clients have done is that yellow brick road, where it's like you kind of figure out what's the point of entry. After the spin gym, what's next after that? And it's like, it's a ladder to grow to, your coaching program, or to grow for example, for Russell is the book, the free book. Then it's like the webinar. Then it's funnel hacking live. After funnel hacking live, it's like, I want to enroll them into the inner circle to then get them to the 2 comma club. That's his ladder. So being clear on that ladder, I didn't even know the importance of that until now. So it kind of sounds like we need to go through the same process with you. What, where are we engaging, enrolling, and moving them forward to? So I see that. I see what, like, obviously.
So let me give you another thing that we just encountered. So on the marketer cruise, which you should come to the marketer cruise, girl. I know it's another week away from your family, but you can bring your kids. There are a lot of kids on this cruise. There's not a lot of room left on the cruise. But there's 400 people. In fact, I will share some of the free gifts with you that I got. We got $30,000 worth of free gifts.
Wow.
And again, at some point, some of these guys go, a lot of them are 2 comma club people. And they go just because they want to have fun with their friends who are also two Comma Club people. It's not a cruise where you can sell anything and learn, but it's a great place to teach, to learn, to hang. And it sounds like you should be part of this.
Awesome.
I brought 20 people this last year, and I'm going to do it again because it was a great way to hang with everybody and just stay up late night and strategize and talk. And yes. So one of the people that we met is Linda Kane. Linda Kane is one of the top event coordinators. She's a grandmother kind of lady. It's really weird. But she does a lot of very, very important people from Laura Langmeyer on down to David. You ought to look up David Bayer, okay? David Bayer looks a lot like Tony Robbins, which is weird because I didn't think anyone else was doing what Tony does. This guy puts about 600 or 800 people in a room, which he's doing in Orlando March 8th. I can't go to that one. I'm already booked.
Mm-hmm.
But because she asked me, is that a vision that you have for yourself? And I said, you know what? I can do Forbes Factor, which used to be just a 3-day thing, but I can do the 500-person version of that. And the 500-person version is a bit of an overview, but it also means that you break up into groups of 20 or 30 with a group coach, and you do some of the processes, and I do a few interventions, and then that leads to, so if that's a $997 ticket, or whatever the ticket might be for 3 days, and it is a big event, and you want to look at David Bayer's event because it looks like that. Then we chunk up and chunk down. Do we go to a pitch mastery that leads into a business mastery, but now it's $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 to go down that road? Do you go to an intensive Forbes Factor in her studio with 30 other people where you're really deep diving into massive breakthroughs? That's $50,000. I go, I don't know, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want to now get to my studio. Those funnels come from this bigger event. And she even backed it out and said, look, her last client that she did a 10-city tour, kind of, a book signing, whatever, 100 people in a room, $47, $97 for half a day or a day. That leads into this big event that I might do once or twice a year. That might lead into everything else. I mean, you're looking at a $10 to $15 million business plan.
Right.
That's doable. One, with automation, but two, it's the first time one of my other partners looked at me and said, yeah, for the first time she can do this. She wants to do this and she loves me. Because she sat up with me every night while I was doing my trainings and stuff. And she's like, wow, how come you're not doing this out to the world?
Right.
Well, so that's part of, so yes, there's a Forbes Factor funnel, there's a Sting Gym funnel.
Okay. All right.
Not many people have both,
I'm ready for it. You tell me what time you want me to be there on Wednesday.
So Wednesday night, we've got an 8:00 coaching call.
Okay.
You can either come and here's the thing. You're driving 6 hours, whatever it takes to get here, whatever time you want to get here.
Okay.
So you stay as my guest. I'll put you up, treat you great. We'll build, we'll make lots of money.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. All right, good. So then the other side, you also need to schedule your coaching series. So you booked?
I think I did already.
Okay, good. I haven't looked at my Acuity yet today.
Yeah, I think I did already. But Chuck, if I didn't, I'll go back on my calendar. I know I have it on there. I think it's maybe the first week of March. But if you're busy, we can make it happen, whenever.
Let's do you after you leave. I want to be very, here's what I'm also going to do with Jenna. Very clear to separate. We're going to outline what expectations are for your coaching.
Yes.
What we need to get out of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then funnels, so they're very, very separate. The same thing with Jenna or any of my other partners like this.
I understand. That sounds good.
But I got to tell you, looking at you physically, you are a completely different person. Now, you're not different. You're the person you're supposed to be. You're not the little girl that showed up that for the first days, every time I looked at you, you would just go, oh, oh. And it's nice to see you in your power. And the beautiful thing about you being in your power is how you can help everything else that we're doing. I had no idea, looking at you for the entire week, that this was who you are.
No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got over my shit now. I'm ready.
And trust me, that's all it takes. It's all about this amazing evolution. And everybody in our world becomes this. It's awesome to see. We have our own little 2 Comma Club going.
That's awesome. That's amazing. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's next. Because honestly, I never thought that my life would change so much in just 1 month or in even just a few weeks. So I'm ready. I'm pumped. I get it. I'm hungry and I'm going for it. So
cool. You know that Russell gave my daughter and I a shout out on stage in front of 30,000 people, right?
Yeah.
How crazy is that, right?
Yeah, that's amazing.
So I'm excited to also be in touch and stay connected to him. So you want to play at the biggest level? That's the level I want to play at.
Well, here, let me tell you one thing, right? So I had general ticket admission, and every day I would show up at 7:50 because the doors opened at 8:20, and I wanted to maximize my chances of having a front row seat. So in order to get that front row seat, now mind you, I don't run. You already saw how I look. I don't run. I don't exercise. It's something that's changing. I was getting my ass up there, making sure I was in the front to get a good seat. So everybody's walking, you know, everybody, I kind of sensed that everyone was the same people showing up early every day. And so I got up there and one guy was like, oh, you're here again? I was like, yeah, you know, I'm trying to get it. I got goals too. And he's like, yeah, it's getting crazy every time somebody opens that door. And I'm like, yep. I was like, I'm running up there. I got a dream too. And so the guy turned around, everybody started laughing. The guy turned around, he's like, you know, if Russell would be sitting right here, right now, he'd probably want to put that on a t-shirt. I was like, well, sounds like a good idea that might need to be pitched to him.
So what would be on the t-shirt? What would it say?
I have a dream too.
You know what?
I got.
Okay, so here's my t-shirt. I just wrote this the other day. # watch me.
Watch.
Yeah. You say I can't do it, watch me. And I had the whole entire audience just going nuts. Because that's the FU School of Business. You see I can't do it, watch me.
And what's crazy is that it became like a thing where, so it's like everybody was running it. It's like a Black Friday thing. As soon as those doors would open, we were expecting to either get trumped off or something, but it was in a respectful manner. No one ever got hurt, but everybody was rushing to get that front row seat because they were limited. So it was an amazing experience. I was excited. And
But you know what I love about what you did is that you were there every day doing it. That's the difference of people who say they're going to do it and actually do it.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, welcome to my world, because I've always lived here. What I never had was automation. Well, because your brain is a little, you know what? I can tell it to you, I can design it, but I could never sit and do it. So there's just a difference in the way brains work, which is awesome.
Yeah. And I want to be able to sit down and just do it. As you're telling me, we could just start creating and plugging away and making things talk to one another so it can actually happen. So
I love that you're willing to come down here. Girlfriend, it's going to change my world. And I love you for it. All right, thank you.
All right.
Mwah.
Mwah.
I will talk to you before we're on Wednesday. Let me know just text me what you think your schedule is.
No, absolutely. I'll try to be there. Actually, I'll try to be there before the call so that I can be on the call.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Love you. Give my big hug to Dolly for me.
I will. Thank you, Forbes. Bye, Chuck. Thank you, guys.
Sarah.
All right. Take care.
Talk to you later.
Okay. Sounds good. Bye.